Tim O'Malley at Notre Dame Stadium with Tim Priester for Irish Illustrated. South Florida coming in for week number 2, and head coach Jeff Scott mentioned they would have to pass a bit more than they did last week to be able to beat Notre Dame's defense. And Tim, it seems they may have a little bit more of an advantage than we thought coming into the week.
Yeah, it might be a little bit more advantageous for South Florida to throw the football against Notre Dame if what we're hearing about some unrelated absences, non-injury related absences on the back seven of Notre Dame defense comes to fruition. But yeah, they need to throw the ball more. I think Notre Dame has plenty of personnel to still deal with that. I think Charlie Weis Jr. is going to have an excellent game plan as he continues to build his career. But one thing I don't think that we addressed earlier in the week, this is the second game that he's been the coordinator of this offense. He still is relying on that offense to function efficiently. And I'm not sure that they're ready to do that. I don't think that they're ready to execute at a high level. There's a lot of choreographed pre-snap movement that Charlie Weis Jr. likes to run. I doubt very much whether South Florida is in tune with that yet.
And I thought Brian Kelly made a good point that Notre Dame has combated tempo well in the recent past. I think people that think Notre Dame might have trouble with tempo go way back to the beginning of the Van Gorder era when North Carolina ran them ragged, but they've seen plenty of tempo since then, including Wake Forest. As for safety Kyle Hamilton, we'll update as I get a chance to watch warm-ups. We'll see if he's partaking in warm-ups immediately and go to the Irish Illustrated message board to let you know his status. Offensively, of course, Tim, they got the running game going last week, and they expect that to continue against South Florida and a little bit sharper at quarterback as well.
I think this is a big day for Notre Dame's offense, and of course, a lot is contingent upon Ian Book playing like Ian Book's capable of. That wasn't the case last week, and it's been the case in other instances. But against most inferior teams that are inferior to Notre Dame, he's usually pretty good. And I think this is a big day for Notre Dame's offense. I think this is a defense they can run the football against. South Florida gave up 209 yards rushing per game last year and arguably lost their two best defensive linemen from the 2019 season. So I think it's a big day for Notre Dame's offense, and that should compensate for any shortcomings the Irish might have on the back seven of their defense.
And I think after listening to Coach Kelly that I think a second running back emerges today. Not that Kyron Williams will clearly be the lead running back, but you're going to want to give him help over the course of the season, over 10 games to save that pounding. And now it seems the running backs are healthy. And I think camp was an issue for the running backs. Kyron Williams was healthy and ready, and now it seems everybody's back.
I agree, Tim. I don't think we're going to see Kyron Williams carry it 19 times again.
Right.
And what he had 2 or 3 catches, so 20 plus touches. I don't think that's necessary today. There's a great opportunity to spread the wealth. One thing to keep in mind, and I'm sure that Jeff Scott and his staff have addressed this, but last year South Florida had 3 kicks and 2 punts blocked, a total of 5 kicking attempts blocked. So perhaps an opportunity for Notre Dame to block one today.
And it would seem, I think we mentioned this earlier in the week, that for South Florida to make this game into the second half, they have to come with something on special teams, something Notre Dame hasn't seen. But as Kelly said, there's plenty Notre Dame hasn't seen. For this opponent is unique in that way. You're pulling from everywhere, game tapes from everywhere, and you probably just got to adjust.
It's a guessing game to a large extent. It often is in September, regardless who your opponent is, even more so now because you just found out a few weeks ago that you were playing this football team. But bottom line, and you know this, Tim, Notre Dame's offensive line versus South Florida's defensive line, and Notre Dame's defensive line versus South Florida's offensive line. That's where the game should be won, and that's why I'm taking Notre Dame to win pretty handily today.
That's it for us pregame. We'll be back postgame with more instant analysis on Irish Illustrated.